Okay, ready. Good morning, Nufar.
Good
Welcome.
morning.
Welcome to this interview. We are opening this space and we welcome you from our ISCA board. We will be talking today. You are in Israel. I will give a brief introduction of you in a minute. And we are opening this interview because you are going to offer on our next ISCA gathering 2021, your workshop called The Masks That We Wear. So welcome, Nufar. I would like to give a little brief information about Nufar Livny Laskov. She was born in Israel, mother to Yali, married to Sajiv. She is currently living in Kefar Veradim in the Galilee Mountains in Israel. Nufar is a certified teacher and facilitator for family and systemic constellation at the school in Israel called the Constellation Path, founded by Yishar Gaster, the developer of Family Constellation The Creative Way, which is an integrative learning method that combines family and systemic constellation with expressive arts. This is her path, so she will be sharing some of her work with us today. She's a master in neurolinguistic programming and a master in timeline therapy. She's expressive arts facilitator, spiritual healer, therapist, shamanic healer from the curanderos from the Mayan dynasty, using divine intervention, frequency, and light language. She's a contemporary artist and designer. So welcome, Nufar. This is a beautiful pathway you have, and you will share with us through the use and interpretation of the masks we wear. Nufar workshop will be taking place on our gathering on Sunday, April 18th, 2021, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central European Time. So if you wish to register to this workshop, please write it down so you can experience this knowledge in your life. Okay, Nufar. So I would like to ask you some questions. How does the fear of belonging have a role in the creation of masks?
Thank you for your question. And the fear of belonging is something very basic in our systemic mental feeling. It starts when we are little, small children. And there is something very deep inside us, in the unconscious place of knowing that we need to belong and we need to be equal to everyone. And this place doesn't allow us to be different, especially when we are children and we are like a sponge. We suffocating everything from our surroundings, from our parents. And if, for example, they will tell us, oh, you are such a nice little girl, so then we will feel that we will have to be this little girl that our parents want us to be. Or, for example, boys doesn't cry. So when we are children, we understand that we are not supposed to cry when we are boys. So we get into our identity those places and saying. And the basic fear that we are having is not to be belonging to the family first, and then after it to the society that we are living in. And it's a very deep fear of surviving, about that if we will see, if we will introduce our true self, we will be rejected. And this fear is going with us all along our life, from childhood till adulthood. And this is the reason we are masking ourselves. One of the protective mechanisms that we have.
Great. Mm-hmm. Okay. What are the gains and losses of the use of masks?
Okay. So the losses of the use of mask is lack of intimacy. For example, because if we're wearing a mask, our choices going through the mask that we wear, they're not coming through our original personality. So from one hand, we're losing intimacy in a relationship, and our full potential cannot be outside and be fulfilled because we don't really know sometimes that we are wearing it, and we're not happy because of it. So, for example, if we will choose our job through a mask, it will be the mask that loves this job, not necessarily us. So it can feel like we're in some kind of a career path, but we are supposed to be very happy and for it because we achieved this work and etc. But inside us, we feel depressed and we don't feel happy. So this is one of the reasons. But on the other hand, the mask is a protective and a very sophisticated way for us to protect our delicate mental and emotional parts. And it's necessary for us to use it sometimes because all the protective mechanisms are based to help us, to let us go through life in safety. So sometimes the mask is a very good way to protect ourselves. So it's not necessarily bad. The thing is that when we don't know our mask, and then sometimes we think this is us, and we don't know to separate between us, between our true feelings, and the feeling that we are project from the mask. And the thing is, when we are wearing our mask, the reflection from outside is the reflection for the mask. So one side it can help us and protect us, and sometimes we can do things it give us power. It's very similar to acting with a mask. When you put in a mask on your face, for example, then you have more courage to do things that maybe you wouldn't done it if you was naked. So it has good side and bad sides.
Yes, very interesting. Yes. How can we learn to survive without a mask?
Okay, so we don't need to learn to survive without mask because mask is part of us and it's part of our mechanism and everything about us is very good. And but the thing is, that I think that can help us, and from my experience, that when we learn what our mask, when we know them, then we can separate between the mask and who we really are inside. And like we know in family constellation, to be acknowledged what is the awareness of the reality has a very big power of healing. So it's very profound healing. So to know them, to meet them, to understand them can benefit us.
Mhm.
And this is what we do.
Yes, sure, sure, sure. Okay, so um, what will a person learn and experience through this workshop?
Okay. So in this workshop, we will going to learn about the secret mask. The secret mask is a way of learning how to um, learning how to listen to secrets that doesn't come easily through a regular session. It's a very interesting way that I came out with this idea through African mask, through the Zulu tribe mask, that they have a very, very special mask that's called the secret mask. And this mask is a mask that everybody tell her their secret, but she doesn't tell it to no one else. So in this specific exercise, I will teach you how to listen to secrets that hide in our body, and to recognize and to listen to them after it. So this is the small one. The small one is the secret mask. But in the workshop, the big session, we are going to learn how to reveal our mask. And in this way, we will going to learn how does it look? Because in the constellation, the representation and the thing that comes out from a session, not necessarily what we think they are going to be look like. So it's very interesting to look at it, and it's also very surprising how a mask really look like. And in the beginning, we will see the first meeting with the mask, and then suddenly, as more as we go in deeper in the session, we will reveal what's going under it. So it's very interesting procedure.
Mm-hmm. So Nufar, will participants need to have material to create their own masks during the workshop, or is it going to be through inner work?
It's going to be through inner work.
Okay.
And you don't have to bring a special mask for it. You also can use regular scarf or some kind of fabric. And if you have the circles and the squares of the session of the constellation, you can bring it on with you, but you don't need to bring anything special for this workshop. Any kind of fabric, near you, even a shirt, everything. Okay. You can use it.
Yes. So so our participants can get prepared and arrive with something to work with, right?
Yes, yes. With some kind of soft fabric.
Yes.
So they will have with them.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. So Nufar, I would like to ask you one more question. Are masks a doorway to systemic work?
Yes, indeed. The thing that I discovered that in a session we can use the mask with the representative. What do I mean? When we are standing inside of representation and we want to check, for example, some kind of relationship with somebody else in our system, then we can use the mask to understand what mask are we wearing in this relationship, and why does something is specifically goes to that way and not to that way. And it's really helping. And also the secret mask helping inside the family constellation session. So I will talk about it in the workshop and I will explain it.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful, Nufar. Well, it sounds as a wonderful workshop. I might register. Thank you. Yes, and so we will be looking forward to experience this work with you. And I want to thank you for giving us this time this morning. I'm in Mexico, so it's morning time. You're in Israel, it's afternoon time. So we'll see each other soon. And I recommend all the ISCA members to continue looking at the link, at the gathering link, ISCA2021, to see to see all the workshops, the schedules, and any other changes that could come up from here to the gathering. And we will continue having practices through the hopping. So thank you. Please remain in communication, Nufar. Have a wonderful afternoon, and thank you to our ISCA community.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tatiana. Have a nice day.
Yes. Okay. Bye.
Bye.